I'm pleased to introduce Eve Packer, who is Bronx-born and actress, poet, performer with 4 poetry books, several poetry CDs. She lives downtown. She's a mom, grandma, and she swims daily. Take it away, Eve.
Thank you, Larissa. This is awe-inspiring and intimidating. Uh, Thank you all. This is 9/5/9. What's today's date? The 13th p.m. Standing in the shower. I wish I were taller. I wish I were younger. I wish the headlines were more icing on the cake, not rotting firebomb hate. I wish the Department of Defense was still the Department of Defense, not the Department of War, threats of engineered lethal rain striking us all. I wish ICE was not rounding up undocumented immigrants, separating, detaining, deporting, locking up children and families. I wish Robert Kennedy Jr. was not head of the Department of Health and Human Services. I wish vaccines were still mandated for school kids. I wish sanity and science still reigned in government. I wish research funds weren't denied and pulled from universities. I wish universities were left alone to make their own mistakes. I wish Peter Hegseth was not head of the former Department of Defense. I wish money wasn't being struck from benefits protections to the environment. I wish union protections for federal employees were still in place. I wish there were no firings of government workers and officials due to politics. I wish feverish calling out and doxing of political opponents by the government and friends would stop. I fervently wish fervently for gun control and an end to gun shootings, AKA death. I wish Trump were never elected. I wish for health. I wish we could organize, resist. I wish our human nature would transcend, ascend, but our flaw in design wings, battered, broken, burnt out, busted. So how to power in peace through to the same side, ascend. I wish for a bagel, lightly toasted, with or without cream cheese. Thank you all.
Thank you, Eve. I'm pleased to introduce Gabrielle Lennon. Gabrielle is a graduate of Northwestern University, loves helping animals and showing the human being under various stigmas in her art. Find her books and website. Find her books and tickets to her solo show on Zoom at her website, www.gabriellelennon.com. Take it away, Gabby.
Thanks. I'm going to read 3 poems that I wrote that are pretty different from each other. And yeah, the first one is called Secretly Superman. Clark Kent is sweet and modest, unassuming too. He doesn't care if someone's rich, Christian, Muslim, or Jew. No matter who's in trouble, he finds a phone booth near. He'll leap a building in a single bound, run fast as a train without fear. He'd never start a war or asphyxiate Medicaid. He'd take care of Social Security and help students' loans get paid. He'd make sure if someone got cancer, she'd have insurance to pay. But he'd educate the children not to eat crap every day that ends up causing cancer or heart attack or stroke. He'd tell them no McDonald's, no cell phones, and no smokes. He'd keep the corporations as accountable and dead. He'd ask live people what they want and not do the opposite instead. If a redneck has an accident, if a gay man's the victim of a crime, black, white, red, brown, girl, boy, jock, clown, he'd help in record time. So, crystal ball, what will we get? You have the parties sent. I'll bet I'll still be praying for Clark Kent for president. The next one is called White Out, Blackout. White out the words, black, gay, trans, Holocaust, ban the books, whitewash the language. Slavery is involuntary relocation. Parents supporting their children's transitions are groomers. Obliterate the truth, black out the memories so history can repeat itself like a sadistic scratched record with crazy, malevolent, willful amnesia kneeling on necks, blotting out lives as darkness envelops us all. White in, black out. Wipe out the people. Black, gay, Jewish, trans. Write them out of the textbooks. Wipe them out, white them out, black them out, obliterate. Lost in the whiteout, blind in the blackout, heedless of the hands in front of our faces, blocking our vision, crushing our throats, demanding to obliterate. So white reigns supreme. And the last one, just in case we don't have another session before Thanksgiving, is Thanksgiving poem. Eating a murdered bird, stuffing stale bread up her behind, making a wish while pulling her pelvis apart. Yes, you want a breast. You desire her thigh. You enjoy white meat. You hanker after dark. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you. I'm pleased to introduce Michael McHugh. Michael McHugh is a poet, a singer-songwriter, and he works with musical acts and performs mostly on the New York City scene. Take it away, Mikey.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this is actually a song. It's I'm reading it as a poem. It's on as a song. It's on my YouTube channel, Michael McHugh Music on YouTube. I wrote it in January 2017, and it's become reality. It's for the late Jane Jacobs. It's called The New Dark Age. The new dark age is coming soon. You may go to Russia, but you won't go to the moon. All the scientists will be sent away, and we will all know nothing in the new dark age. In the new dark age. A wise Sybil said there'd be a dark age ahead for America and for the world. Genocide in the Middle East. A woman rides a scarlet beast, and fascism returns in a rich man's clothes. Make America a great land of woe. Soon it will be time for us to go. The new dark age is coming soon, and we will all be dancing to a strange new tune. All the teachers will teach the alt-right way, and we will be in the sway of the new dark age, of the new dark age. It's coming down. Take a good look around. You can feel the tension in the air. A portly man with orange hair stoops to pet a Russian bear. Will the rescue party make it stop? Are we too late or too over the top? The new dark age is coming soon. You may go to Russia, but you won't go to the moon. All the scientists will be sent away, and we will all know nothing in the new dark age. In the new dark age. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Mm, Jonathan, is Janice Idis here?
Right here.
Oh, good. I'm very pleased to introduce Janice Idis, winner of 2 O. Henry Prizes, is the author of 4 novels, including The Last Jewish Virgin and 2 short story collections, including The Celibacy Club. She has published fiction and essays in over 50 anthologies and many leading magazines, including the New York Times and Lilith. Take it away, Janice.
Thank you. So I wrote this short essay in 2017, and it feels even more relevant today. The title is How Transgender Performer Justin Vivian Bond Helped Me as a Parent. Let's go boom boom in the zoom zoom room. Justin Vivian Bond, the tall, Swagne, blonde, 53-year-old cabaret performance artist, social activist, sings in a seductively edgy voice. Bond, who prefers to be called Mix, not Mr. or Ms., and by the letter V rather than him or her, isn't so much channeling Blondie on stage at Joe's Pub in the East Village as completely reinventing the song. My husband and I started going to V performances long before we adopted our black-haired, cinnamon-skinned baby daughter from Guatemala. 2 years ago, when that baby turned 12, she started complaining whenever we headed out to see Bond without her. Why can't I go with you? You let me watch every episode of Will and Grace when I was 5. This was true. Not that I ever admitted to other parents that my 5-year-old and I howled together in laughter as the narcissistic Karen Walker, played by Megan Mullally, told a potential suitor, just because we once made out like drunk straight girls at a frat party doesn't mean you're wanted here. Now I worried anew. Had my daughter been too young to understand that Will and Grace's writers weren't actually advocating alcoholism, even though the charming Karen Walker was rarely without a drink in her hand? Why do you want to see V so badly, I asked. Because you love V. But Bond is a lot less mainstream than an Emmy Award-winning TV sitcom from the 90s. Still, V's not exactly fringe. V's got a Tony nomination, has been featured in The New Yorker, makes regular appearances at Joe's Pub. Still, was my daughter truly ready for a transgender star who riffed irreverently, baudily, and sometimes graphically, albeit poignantly, about sex and gender? One of V's signature songs is Bambi Lake's haunting and heartbreaking, The Golden Age of Hustlers, a vivid depiction of the rough lives of some of San Francisco's transgender community during the 70s. Bond is a lot edgier than Will and Grace. In The New Economy, with a confrontational swagger, V sings about the sexual economy of having to sell one's body. V jokes about receiving favorite gifts from fans. No flowers for mama, just pills. And after all, my daughter was still a preteen. Then I remembered that day years ago in my daughter's swim class. She was just a preschooler. When I arrived to pick her up, a boy in the class pointed at me. She can't be your mom, he said. She's not your color. I am white. My daughter looked stricken. That boy just needs to get out more, I whispered, hoping to make her smile. Instead, she blinked back tears. Given that experience, maybe the truth about Bond's different life as a trans child and adult is one of the best gifts I could ever give to my daughter. After all, as a member of a transracial family, my daughter also pushes society's boundaries and is different. The fact is, she and I are often forced to explain our relationship. When we stroll arm in arm through the streets of New York, we often encounter almost cartoonish double takes. Despite how cosmopolitan and multicultural the city may appear, on a few occasions, total strangers have actually approached us, demanding to know who we are to each other. Inevitably, she and I feel hurt and angry. These kind of reactions come from people of various ethnicities. Once, as we sat quietly in the back seat of a taxi, the driver, in an accent I couldn't place, informed us that our relationship would never be real. At school, I was sometimes taken for her nanny. Sometimes we received praise. People applaud my bravery and tell my daughter what a lucky girl she is. But that singles us out just as much as criticism. We yearn to simply go about our daily lives with our relationship unremarked upon. Finally, hoping we were doing the right thing, my husband and I brought her with us to see Bond perform. The single child in an otherwise extremely diverse audience, my daughter sat between us at our ringside table. So, V dates boys and is a guy below and a girl on top, she said, as Bond, in shimmering golden cigarette pants, commandingly took the stage. That's cool. My daughter became a fan of V that night. Since then, she's watched V perform numerous times. Recently, Bond, in a flowing Vivienne Westwood top, drink in hand, a la Karen Walker, declared V self too nearsighted to register the way people stare at V on the street. My daughter smiled with delighted recognition. Like all the best poetry, the lyrics V sings about San Jose Johnny the Libra and his lovers and friends, for instance, are life-affirming and life-changing. Mom, I don't understand all the words to this song, my daughter says softly, but I know that V is singing about strong people like me. When Bond angrily revealed that V's father, who recently died, would not let V, a fake woman, into his home, my daughter gasped. That's horrible, she said. V is real. Just as you are, my real child, I thought. She and I held hands throughout the evening as Bond, sometimes with manic energy and sometimes with great calm and earnestness, celebrated love, hope, courage, art, activism, and differences of all kinds. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. I'm pleased to introduce Swapan Basu. He's chairman of Rhyming Poets International, has published 3 books, was telecasted by Brooks to New York City in EBC TV, got first prize in Tagore Poetry Contest, published in newspapers and mags with specialty in social reform and translation of Tagore songs in original tunes. Take it away, Swapan.
Oh, thank you, Larissa. And I wanted to read another poem, but this is so close to 9/11. So I thought I will read this one, 9/11. And this has a little different message, though. The emergency number incessantly rang 9/11. 2 angry planes hit a pair of tall buildings, very well known as World Trade Center, the pride of America's financial power. They were almost ladders to the sky. From the ground, they rose very high. From the top, you can see the Manhattan, the Statue of Liberty, and the River Hudson. The flow of people and the slowly moving cars. No one knew of the approaching disaster. It was 9 a.m., 11 September of 2001. 4 planes changed their direction, not to new cities, but for destruction. Feared passengers called loved ones, said goodbye and prayed for the last time. Relatives worried, stopped time, saved the White House by subduing jihadis, crashed into Pennsylvania meadow to perish. Another crashed on the mightiest Pentagon, defying all high-tech machines and intelligence. How could cavemen carry out so exact plan? It is difficult to imagine, hard to understand. The smoke, the heat, and the implosion. Panicked people were desperate to run. Old, young, pretty girls and the boys were tossed into the fire like toys. Their sweet dreams, hopes to prosper, got burned into ashes, debris in despair, fell scattered with the rubbles in heaps, torn apart families, friends, and relatives, lost loves, dreams, and aspirations. For days, smoke came out from the burn. The blow did not chop them off like pencils. The great heat stretched the metallic tensile. The hot steel frames raised their hands, set the covered walls, floors to expand. We stopped to cry and remember the loss, shed drops of tears in private house. Every year on that moment we pause, always blame the effect but not the cause. Their land was taken to create a new state. They lived in poverty, destitute was their fate. The two sides fought with each other, attack and response in daily short words. Tanks, missiles against throwing stones. America continually vetoed UN resolutions. Nobody would listen to their futile demand. Angry child threw things to draw attention. President Obama finally wanted to hear, gave hope for a homeland in near future. The path of violence is never a winning one, turns people against whatever is the mission. Take the path of diplomacy and negotiation, intellectual battles, produce better solution. How was it possible for Osama bin Laden from caves so far to execute so exact plan? He was a fool to advise the angry Yankees. America did the reverse, which was easy to see. He helped George Bush win the second time. Laden was thus a friend of Bush in real term. Ashcroft talked of the threats at Washington. Was it an inside job to help win the election? Can we find out from a thorough investigation? Take steps so that it does not happen again. Innocent cannot suffer, for the policy is imperfect. We must blame the cause and not just the effect. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Swapan. I'm pleased to introduce Donna Cartelli. She's a poet and collage artist from New York whose poetry and art has been published in various magazines. Her book is Black Mayonnaise. Take it away, Donna.
Hi there, everybody. I'm going to read an abridged first draft of a section from a longer work called Pestilentia Mentis Golemica, or Golem's Rise and Plan to Destroy American Democracy. And I just wanted to let you know that that translates to Golem's mental plague, which evokes a sense of intellectual or emotional contagion, similar to how fears or beliefs can spread rapidly. Political influencers before Golem. All 5 Republican presidents, from Tricky Dick Richard Nixon to W, knew the meaning of America. Life, liberty, and justice are made with the blood-soaked cloth we still wear. The ideal we still struggle to live by, indelible in the Bible of American exceptionalism, the Constitution and Bill of Rights, which gives us license to upend, fight, amend the system with humble hearts, remove our blind spots to forge a more perfect union. 2 of 5, however, broke their oath to the Constitution, brokered side deals, lied and obstructed justice, and sowed public distrust, and a caste of dishonest office holders, a double helix of genes bequeathed to Golem. Tricky Dick, popular moniker for the political snake, throttler of decency with deceit, red baiter, who successfully smeared Democratic opponent Helen Douglas to win California's Senate seat. Tricky Dick, part of Senator McCarthy's witch hunt, whipped up voters frightened of the Cold War's Red Scare, painting Douglas as the Pink Lady, a Soviet sympathizer. Shamelessly accused civil cogs and dissenters as Soviet spies infiltrating and permeating Washington, duplicitous means of salvaging America exceptionalism. The Teflon president, the great communicator, Ronald Reagan, B-rated actor, trickle-down economics lover, original supply sider and union buster, initiator of middle-class slide and corporate and upper-class rise, worshiper of the mighty dollar and decline of noblesse oblige, unraveler of social safety nets like food assistance, enabler of deaths from AIDS, the gay plague, to placate Christian nationalists who, like Puritans and Cold War Americans, feared the other. Detractor of affirmative action and equal opportunities for people of color and women under the guise of magician who poofs away hatred and special favor towards and for any and everyone. A sleight of hand that renders us colorblind and devoid of soul searching or grace, with no offender burdened by disgrace. Feel-good policy speeches to bleach away 400 years of an indelible, soiled social fabric, only further calcifies our blind spots hidden beneath shades of gray most whites blindly abide. Even the knave mounted a vision of America as a shining city upon a hill, a beacon of hope, freedom, and prosperity, whose walls had doors and the doors were open to anyone with the will and the heart to get here. Echoes Emma Lazarus's Colossus, harkens back to John Winthrop's 1630 sermon. We must be knit together, uphold gentleness, patience, and liberality. We shall be made a story and a byword through the world. And stumbles upon the Apostle Matthew, model of Christian values, progenitor of America's exceptionalism, city upon the hill, of which MAGA and its allies cannot recite chapter and verse without an under-the-breath curse. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. I'm pleased to introduce Susan Wyman, who is a storyteller and writes literary nonfiction and poetry. Her chapbook, Roommates, was published by Parkside Press in 2021, and New Yorkish was published by Noonet Press in 2018. Her chapbook, We'll Get Together When It's Over, is forthcoming, and she is working on a memoir collection. Take it away, Susan.
Hi, thanks, Larissa. And it's great to be with so many amazing poets and all the messages you're putting out. That said, I'm reading a letter. In May, when the Vatican announced a new pope, an American pope from Chicago, I couldn't get it out of my mind. I came home and wrote this. I didn't know it would become a letter, nor that I would mail it on May 26, when the Pope's address would be posted on the internet. Your Holiness, Pope Leo XIV, congratulations on being the first American Pope. You hail from Chicago. I live in New York City. You are the first Pope I've ever written to. Up until now, it never would have occurred to me. As an American citizen, I'm frightened. I'm afraid of our government and fascism. Please understand how unusual this request is for me. I'm a 72-year-old Jewish woman. I went to Hebrew school 3 days a week, celebrated my bat mitzvah, and attended Hebrew high school. I'm now a cultural Jew. Please hear me out. I'm a good person, a humanist. I've never written to a religious figure in my life. I believe as Pope, you are in a unique position to help save America from Trump. You are the only leader powerful enough to stand up to him, to guide those Americans who are lost, those who have gone astray. I know you recently called for, quote, the release of imprisoned journalists and affirm the calling for all of us to safeguard the precious gift of free speech of the press, unquote. You spoke up to Vance that Catholicism does not rank or prioritize one group of people. You defend the rights of immigrants. I applaud you. I understand responding to someone like me is not in your job description. Please give my plea careful consideration. I'm one of many terrified souls. You are a peacemaker. I believe in peace. Thank you. Respectfully yours, Susan Wyman.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. We have a special surprise guest, playwright and author Mark Durkop, the Loft Mystic Daddy, is a radical truth teller exploring America's values, marginalized communities, personal agency and power, and the courage and belonging. Take it away, Mark.
Larissa, I don't see him. I don't think he made it. I don't see him in the M's or the D's.
There was a Mark D. He didn't come in?
Maybe he did and left. I'm sorry.
All right. So hopefully we'll,
I think excuse me, I think I let him in. Maybe he just took a powder or something for a moment.
or lost his internet.
Yeah, it could be anything. Sorry.
See a mark on
All right.
participant.
The last person in my cohort, special surprise guest Myrna Nieves, is a writer who has published several books, including Viaje a la Lluvia, Poemas, Breaking Ground, Anthology of Puerto Rican Women Writers in New York, and most recently, La Soñadora y el Agente, The Dreamer and the Agent, co-authored with Robert Roth. Take it away, Myrna.
Thank you for this invitation to Joanie, Larissa, Robert Roth for helping me be here. I will read two poems. One is a poem that I wrote some time ago, and I have adapted it to this current situation, which is not different in a way. Ancient Memories 2. Tell me how to greet the day when in my heart a somber flower is born, fruit of the night's morbid gestations, purple petal flower, forced to grow by police sirens, helicopters, helices, news of a war. Today in Gaza, the market was blown to pieces. A little girl's tiny shoes lay empty among dates, olives, and torn bodies. Today, a city is covered in blood and sand. There is a scent of uranium bullets in the air. Here, I don't know how to keep walking up and down the street, eating bread in the market, buying food for supper, walking groomed fleecy dogs. I don't know how we didn't learn the lesson a long time ago from the ashes of the towers. Don't we get tired of so much war? Could it be that my flower is one of a kind, born in a remote marsh, a lagoon where a dark vegetation grows? Yet I know that in the submerged garden of all those that breathe in the planet, these forgotten forms exist beneath the unrelenting rain of rubble, a fermented memory, persevering in the shadows, possessed of an inner light, that strange phosphorescence. Let the tremulous flowers of courage arise. Let the outcry of those of us who inhabit the planet be heard. Let us stop the genocide with our actions so that we may rescue our ancient soul, so that no more bloody petals shall drop down to the earth. And the second poem, thank you. The second poem is dedicated to all the marine life that live in the polluted oceans of the sea, of the earth, and the funding for cleaning this has been canceled. I dream of this creature gasping for air. I dream of this creature. Is it a large goldfish? Reaching out to me, to us. I dream of this creature breaking through the surface, leaving its poison home. How will I lend it a hand? How can I pull myself from the abyss? wake up from delusion, jump into its dream. Is this creature me, you? I dream of this creature that I embrace in the waters, calling to us over seaweed, trash, and distant stars. Is this creature me, you, calling unto us? I dream of this creature. I dream of this creature. I dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Myrna. I am now going to turn over the hosting to Joanie HF Zosike, the wonderful Joanie HF Zosike, passionate singer, actor, playwright, director, and poet who believes that, as banal as it may sound, love is the answer. Joanie has performed, published, and read here, there, abroad. Joanie, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I am so moved by all of you incredible poets. Thank you for lending your voices. You thrill me and you thrill the world. I just got a message suggesting from DC Art that we try to put together a collection of this. And I think that's a damn good idea. And I
Amen.
try to follow up on that. I would like to be in touch with you about that. So if you would just mind, if you don't mind dropping your info in the chat, I will talk to you about it and see what we can engineer. So, le voilà. I have fresh lipstick on. God knows if in 2 hours I still will. Here is my first poem. I want to read 2 short poems, and I'm going to read them briefly and hopefully interestingly. They ran with their ears to the wind. I can't believe how many Mouseketeers I've alienated in the last 2 days, my lifelong friend Lori says over the phone. We're talking Gaza and the eyeless, legless, armless, skeletal children who will grow up with no history other than the apocalyptic city where they reside, searching for small scraps of food amidst granite crumbs, looking for toys that don't explode. Stories told by their eyeless, legless, armless, skeletal grandparents mean nothing to them. They can't hear the word gentility. It doesn't translate to these lost ones who have no education, medication, even a sliver of soap. Women try to nurse their babies, and nothing comes from their breasts except dust and pus. The lack of empathy, the sense of we feeling, envelops the fractured architecture and scorches earth. No feelings in the teapots of the rich. Starving? They're not starving. What is starving? We know nothing of starving. It's a fire blanket tossed over our brains. I can't do anything but sleep and write and sleep. But who will right the wrongs? Who will right the wrongs? Who has the sight to see across the globe that you are not looking at them, you are looking at your own me and what you will be if the world continues in this way? And the second one is called Advisory. You lie down on the flat surface of rock, your gray towel spread like a coffin liner. Tide is in, roaring below. You soak up heat into your throbbing back. Surf sings out below. You inhale the scent of ocean, salt spraying you with disdain and affection. Affliction in your limbs, you hang on to the rim of this flat rock, convinced, consumed, convicted by a dark vision of insurgency. You and the cockroach of dawn spew out chocolate milk of magnesia, magnetic prophecy blinding you, binding feverish intestines that move with or against you like snakes in a wall. Controls are off, and you sleep, sweat your sweet waters over flat bedrock. You awaken, your neck is flaccid, unidentified. You are leaking reason out of your eyes. Your feet are clammy. Or is it ocean spume, a scent of fish and salt, a sapphic amuse-bouche? Rabidly hungry, no teat handy, must you hunt now, dispassionately rip life from ocean to preserve your own? Thou shalt not kill echoes between your teeth, but a gnawing gut can't be ignored. It drives you via your unstable avatar to the picnic basket weaver cum Sandman awaiting in the dunes. You are stranded. I advise you to run, sisters and brothers, away from this rat trap of pungent cheese craftily luring you to the national razor. Run! Distinguish smoke and mirrors from ocean foam, promises of honeycomb from ignoble juggernauts. The government urges you to remain calm. Run, all gendered from crow of that flatbed boulder dancing clumsily in white clay. Leap aboard, take the helm of the magical jetty before the citadel shatters of its own accord. Thank you. Thank you, mi amore. Mi amori. Okay, let me just draw up this document and we're gonna rock and roll with some really amazing writers. Here they are. Okay.
Johnny, I don't think Austin Alexis is here. He left a public note saying he was having trouble, but I didn't hear back when to troubleshoot.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe he'll come back. It is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot, but it is worth it. We got to stay awake. Okay, so we are going to proceed with the wonderful Madeline Artenberg, whose poetry book, Naming a Hurricane, from Pink Trees Press, names many injustices within family, relationships, and worldwide. Madeline?
Thank you, Joanie, for including me. Thank you, Larissa. Thanks, everyone. This is a drop title, A Kid and a Dog. You often see that in pictures. Growing up, I only knew black dogs in Brooklyn, traveling in packs, thrashing at my pant legs, drooling, pus, and foam. As a teen, I had no choice but coexist with a Doberman who humped my leg on the sofa while my fiancé moved to second base. My future in-laws howled with laughter when their pet walked on the kitchen table between plates piled with brisket. Years later, I dashed down a busy thoroughfare, came upon a German shepherd, dazed and bleeding. For an hour, I frantically flagged unyielding traffic. When my tears fell on him, I wished he'd rise up, transform, find his flock. He raised his head, looked deep into my eyes. I cradled him like I never could the fetus ordered from my womb by a husband too young to marry. And the next one second here. 1 second. Yes, American in Cuba. By the way, I was a photojournalist with a press pass for 10 years. A very progressive photo agency. It's no longer here. So I was able to go into Cuba legally. This is American in Cuba. At the Museo Bellas Artes Havana, preschoolers tell me their families bring them here often. Everywhere, girls and women like strutting bouquets in hand-sewn cotton dresses. Boys and men, heads under hoods of 50s American cars, breathing deep the smells of Miami. I stroll near the hotel, arm myself with "No me moleste" and "Policía, ayúdame, por favor." A dark-skinned young man approaches, speaks little English. I understand him to say, "Need your help. Don't want your money. Give you my pesos for dollars. Good things only in dollar stores. Please, pretty lady." He shows me his ration coupons, hardly enough, begs me to help him. I am considering his request when La Policia swoop out, slam him into a wall, ask for his papers, my passport, and whether he's bothering me. "No problema," I say, but they drag him off. He calls out, "I just wanted to talk to you." Thank you very, very much.
Brava Diva. I can't make any comments now because I'm too busy flipping between, but I love you all. You are just magnificent and wonderful. I would like now to introduce, thank you so much, Madeline. Thank you. I would like now to introduce my good friend and longtime colleague, Dorothy Friedman August, award-winning poet, editor, and teacher, published 2 books of poetry, 2 more, L-Shaped Room and As If, are forthcoming from And Then Press. And she's completing a memoir, The Bastard Heirs. Dorothy, let's hear from you.
Thank you very much, Joanie, and good afternoon, everyone. Happy resilience and resistance to everyone. I'd like to dedicate my reading to the word lesbian because it was among the list of banned words by the T person. Okay. My mother was a lesbian. My mother was a lesbian, although she and my father never knew it. There was a kind of sadness in her eyes that I saw when she was washing me, that I see in the eyes of horses standing still, sway back from a dumb life. She never said, "I want to go away." Nothing ever came through. And the second poem is satirical. It's called Some Myths About Lesbians, and it's in 2 parts. The homophobic chorus has the first part, and the lesbian response is the second part. Some myths about lesbians. When lesbians are ripe, they fall from branches. If you set a whiskey bottle on their heads, they dance. Their profile is shaped like a bird's head. They have thick, stubby bodies. Lesbians smash their toys as children. They will not leave their mothers or their mothers' lovers in peace. They are sullen. Lesbians are sent screaming and dinnerless to bed. They are not to be reasoned with. They slam their doors. Lesbians go out into the street. They are corrupt and ambiguous. They fly south in squadrons and are much unsettled by the wind. They have messy hair and dirt in the complexion. Some people say they eat dirt and lizards for breakfast. Some people say they have 2 rows of bony plates on their backs like Stegosaurus, and all wish they were married. Lesbian response. Well, you know, those plates on our backs get heavier all the time. We use our force spikes and our tails to keep attackers away. We learned to eat lizards. Thank you. Happy day.
Bravo, Diva. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dorothy. I'd like next to introduce Roberta Batorsky. She is, a biology teacher currently teaching at a state prison for youth and she's a lifelong poet writing about social justice issues and life experience. Her poetry collection will be out this coming October. Check her Instagram, Roberta Batorsky _ poetry. I'll put that in the chat for y'all. Okay, Roberta, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, great. Please go ahead.
This poem is called Truth. Call out the righteous, raise your voices for those that are stifled. Collectively call out the culprits, deniers of democracy, fakers of our fourth. Bring your indignation. Injustice demands it. Enlist your conscience. All the small voices combine to speak for dead children, the imprisoned, deported, diminished, destitute, homeless, uneducated, and deprived. You can change it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My second poem is called Blue Man Group. Messengers get the data as conduits, not disposables. We needed a nas more than he us. It's incongruous. His team was slaughtered as purveyors of truth. Paradoxically, their killing shows how effective they were. 5 martyrs robbed of their youth. We lost their insight when power obliterated their voices, leaving a blood-spattered tent. More will come before the 5 white shrouds are carried off. The pendulum returns. Quote from the Roman general Ennius: "The victor is not victorious as the vanquished doesn't consider himself so." In Latin, qui vincit non est vintor, nisi vintus fatetur. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roberta. Lovely to hear your work for the first time. Very nice. Thank you.
Please invite me again. Thank you.
Sure. Will do. Okay, now I wish to introduce, actually, you are in for a treat. This will be a video from Charles Bernstein, and his most recent book is The Kinds of Poetry I Want, Essays and Comedies from the University of Chicago Press. The video is called The Malady of the West.
The malady of the West. Do Republicans have any values apart from transferring wealth from the many who create it to the few who own them? No longer do they pay lip service to the values they daily desecrate: freedom, democracy, reason, elections, separation of powers, representative government, rule of law, international and local, education, public health, civil liberties, and human rights, truthfulness. Tyrants and invaders are extolled, the dispossessed mocked and robbed, thugs, rapists, and felons. In place of the American flag, they give us fascist salutes. Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Musk, have you no decency? 2.5 centuries ago, our forebears brought forth a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to what conservatives have long extolled as the values of the West. You daily show your intent to destroy the promise of a nation so conceived and so dedicated, testing whether our ever difficult journey to be more perfect with each generation, the American experiment can endure. Our nation was built by indigenous people and those brought here in chains, along with waves of migrants seeking a new world. From the forebears of our founders' generation to today's dreamers, it is for us here and now to be dedicated to the great task remaining ahead, that we here highly resolve that this nation shall have a new birth of freedom and the government of the people, native and non-native, by the people, one person, one vote, and for the people, not just in America, not just Americans, but around the world, shall not perish from our land.
Wow. I'm in awe. Okay. Thank you, Charles. I don't know if you're here, but thank you for contributing that. I would like next to introduce Kim D. Brandon. She is a poet, novelist, and activist who inspires others to use their writing to heal our communities. A great ambition. Thank you for being here, Kim. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I'm going to read two poems. The first poem is a poem from today, Promise Me, Mama. Let's not forget about love, Mama. To love like machine gun fire, Mama. If we too become consumed with hate, be careful if we hate too often, too long. We too become ineffective, useless weapons, soldiers, chipped like teacups that use their sharp edges of glass to cut, draw, spill the warm red blood of the innocent. Let us remember to love, Mama, lest we become too evil to carry the nourishment of hot soup or sweet, warm mother's milk. Mama, let us remember about loving. Even in war, let us remember to love each other and love each other often. And here's the second poem. No matter what happens, don't move. My father gathered us, his children, then gathered up all the rusty, dented, leftover cans of house paint from the hall closet. He heard them first before he saw them. The police were coming again. This time, their sirens raging war, breaking the small fragments of peace found on the poverty line. Popping the lids off like flipping pancakes, them smelling like turpentine and burnt offerings. He poured them over us, his children, heavy globs, dripping, coating everything below, our crowns and our new and our hand-me-down clothes. He put his index fingers to his lips to silence us, his eyes pleading, be still, my children, be still. The door was pushed in, he was knocked down, he was punched, he was kicked, guns were jammed in his face, he was handcuffed, and he was dragged away from us. The paint dried. We had not been discovered. We had not been seen. We are now the same baby blue from the bathroom walls, the same canary yellow from the kitchen walls, the same butterscotch gold from the living room walls, safe and invisible for the time being, as long as we don't move. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kim.